First up tonight, we are learning a lot more about the alleged misconduct against Waterbury's former water superintendent that led to his resignation and now his arrest.
Police are saying he lied on his job application and that he was not qualified for the job. Your reporter Owen Kingsley has details on both sides of the story. Owen.
While police were investigating this situation where two fire hydrants on Bennett Avenue stopped working during a house fire last month, they made this discovery. And when they brought this up to the former water superintendent, Brad Millay, he immediately resigned. Well, we spoke with Millay in an email. He is admitting to some wrongdoing, but also defending his work in fighting the notion that he wasn't qualified for his job. Brad Millay is charged with 2 counts of forgery. Investigators say he forged documents and transcripts and lied about graduating college to appear qualified for the position. He began working for the city in July of 2023. Millay tells me he did attend college but did not graduate. He admitted to checking a box on the application that said otherwise. But he says his work is proof of his qualifications, in part saying, quote, "I successfully led the city through 2 of the worst catastrophes in its history with a continued praise of everyone involved during those times." Millay was arrested at his home Thursday night in front of his family and says had he been called, he would have voluntarily surrendered.
And Mr. Millay gave some statements today, all of which I don't believe are accurate. Mr. Millay was contacted by the police department on a number of occasions throughout the course of this investigation and never returned a phone call.
There's no doubt that he did some amazing work here. I feel for him, but unfortunately he lied.
Several aldermen feel they have been ignored through this misconduct situation and the police investigation into the fire hydrants that didn't work on Bennett Avenue in April. Last night, a bipartisan group rejected going into a closed-doors executive session and walked out in protest.
We were hoping the message would be that we need to communicate more.
The people in the city aren't concerned about him checking a box on his application. The people in the city, and I hear it almost daily, are concerned if, God forbid, my house catches on fire, is the fire hydrant going to work? We haven't gotten an answer.
Mayor Penarowski and Police Chief Spagnolo say that investigation is still ongoing and that what happened with those malfunctioning fire hydrants on Bennett Avenue is still an unlikely situation to happen again.
And we were prepared to fill them in with all of the information that was there. And so I don't know why they chose not to hear the information.
The city is still interviewing candidates right now for that water superintendent position. We also learning just moments ago, they are now auditing all current employees to make sure that they actually do meet the required qualifications for their positions. Your reporter in Waterbury, I'm Owen Kingsley, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.